Hey everybody, Wayne here. In today's Recon, I'm taking a look at Manila, The Savage Streets, 1945, designed by Michael Rinella and published by Revolution Games. Manila is the second game in the Solitaire Area Movement Series, following on the heels of Stalingrad Advance to the Volga in 1942. Let's go down to the table for a closer look. When General MacArthur was driven out of the Philippines early in the war, he swore he would return. And he did. But what people didn't realize is when him and the American soldiers returned, invading Luzon in February of 1945 and marching on Manila, that there would be 5 times the civilian casualties in the battle for Manila as there was the battle for Stalingrad. Although the battle for Stalingrad was a greater titanic struggle between larger armies and suffered proportionally much larger losses of those armies, when it comes to civilians, and these numbers, of course, are all relatively estimates. In Stalingrad, approximately 40,000 civilians lost their lives. In the battle for Manila, 100,000. Battle for Stalingrad, unknown number were casualties, so including injured. The battle for Manila, approximately 250,000 civilians were casualties as a result of the battle. So this is one that, although it is clearly a much lesser known fight than the battle for Stalingrad, I think that when it comes to the game here, it's very important that we have this game. And although the battle for Manila may not be nearly as well known as the battle for Stalingrad, I think it's important that we have games like this to remind us of this history, remind us of these battles, and allow us to experience them and just get even a small slice of what happened back in 1945. Manila's Savage Streets. Again, this is Volume 2 in the Solitaire Area Movement Series. Definitely, as soon as I heard that Michael Rinella was working on another one, I wanted to check it out, and here we are. We are very glad and grateful for the opportunity to be able to serve our country in this epic battle. Now, with what strength remains, we will daringly engage the enemy. Bonsai to the Emperor. We are determined to fight to the last man. Rear Admiral Sanji Iwabuchi, 31st Naval Special Defense Force. After years of jungle fighting and island hopping, the battle for Manila was the first urban combat experienced by American forces during the war in the Pacific. There can be little question Manila must be included with the likes of Stalingrad, Cassino, Warsaw, and Berlin as one of the most savage and physically destructive battles of the entire Second World War. In Manila, you're put in charge of the attacking and far more mobile American side, while the game system handles the defending and largely static Japanese side. I imagine the game probably has a lot of similarities with the Stalingrad game, using the same base system. Of course, I'm sure there will be a lot of changes that go along with this particular battle, this particular fight. As it says here at the end, MacArthur had hoped to spare the multicultural city and its roughly 800,000 inhabitants from the horrors of war, but failed. The fate of the city of Manila, the Pearl of the Orient, now rests with you. Whew, gives you chills reading that and thinking about it, huh? So, again, that's what I love about history games. I love about war games. You know, you're getting a piece of that conflict of this. You're simulating it. You're experiencing it, even if it's just for educational purposes. But enough of that, right? Let's kind of dive into this production, this game here, and see what we got. So here we got some Christmas dice here. So fortunately, it's at the end of January, so we didn't quite make Christmas, but no, green, red dice, like having separate colored dice, of course. Let's look at the rule book here. Already can tell it's not a thick rule book at all. Here we have what is a setup at the end, or setup here at the end of the rule book. Shows the counter sheet and 14 pages here of the rules. Although it looks like some of these may be, so the index and glossary. So the actual rules themselves are possibly 12 pages or less, just like Stalingrad. It was very light on the rules, yet it had a lot of replayability in the game. All right, looking at the rule book here, we can see, I always film in 4K, so you guys have a pretty good view of it. You can always pause it if you want, take a look at things. Full color, we have some icons, we have some counters out here, tell us exactly what's going on. You know, American unit information, the Japanese information. Much like Stalingrad, it's going to be, you're going to have the Japanese units are going to be effectively unrevealed. They're going to be hidden. As you enter areas, you're going to reveal them. And then you're going to have, combat or what's going to happen. You're going to resolve it from there. As always with my recons, we're taking a look at it. I'm commenting on things, but this isn't to teach you the game. This isn't to exactly what's going on. This is just to give kind of a broad overview of it, my first impressions of it, and go from there. I will have, of course, a playthrough, an overview and review, all that good stuff covering this game, just like I did with Stalingrad. Actually, looks like maybe page 8 is where the actual rules end. Yep. Photo gallery, example of play. Oh, I really like that. So not only do you have a little bit of history, this photo gallery, you have a complete example of play, and then history and suggested reading. So again, I always love when designers, publishers include that. So it gives you that extra jump start on history. This rulebook itself, like I said, looks like it only goes to 8 pages of the actual rules. So going to be a lighter game, going to be quick playing, but I'm guessing if it's anything like Stalingrad, thanks to those hidden counters, you have a lot of replayability. Okay. Let's get everything out of the box here. By the way, nice, sturdy, thick box. I believe the first game was very similar to Stalingrad. Nice. It's not a thick box in the sense of the actual width of it, but the thickness of the cardboard is very sturdy. Okay. Here we have a double-sided player aid. You have, what is this, reinforcements, withdrawals, sequence of play here, combat phase, combat resolution, attack value, defense value, random event chart. A nice thick card stock, by the way. Other side, Japanese defense strategy chart, American supply costs, movement costs, American information, Japanese information. Okay. I only see the one. I do wish we had 2, right? Because when you're playing, you're playing solitaire, instead of having to flip these back and forth, especially if you're looking at, say, maybe the reinforcements, maybe you want to put the actual reinforcements on here. Obviously, you can't flip them over or they're going to go flying when you're trying to check this. So I'll probably have to make a copy of one side and just have both. So too bad this isn't single-sided and just 2 separate player aids, but we'll survive. All right, let's look at these counters. Manila, the Savage Streets. Again, I'll pause here. You guys can pause if you want. Pause the video, take a look at them. Very clean, very easy to read. Nothing super fancy, just like the first game, but you know, whether it is those are the Japanese, right, that are markers that are going to be hidden. You're not going to be able to see that backside, which of course these counters are double-sided. It's going to tell you, hey, you know, what's happening? Is there an ambush? Is there a barrage? Are the elite troops, fanatics? And then of course there's going to be a number, generally speaking, the attack strength or the defending strength. We have our American units, headquarters in there, you know, primarily large number of infantry, although there are definitely some armored units there. Control markers for the Americans, artillery support, engineer support, air support, so helping you out in those battles. And this game, and we're going to take a look at it when we get the map out here, but does add the attack value and defense value chart. So if you guys remember from my videos, I use D20s. Other people have created, in particularly Stuka Joe. He does credit someone else's kind of an original idea. I don't think it's, you know, any one particular person's idea that you would keep track of them, because again, I've been using D20s. I just didn't have a track that I made because I'm no good at art. So, but we'll take a look at that once we get to the map. So, and popping these out, pop out super easy, nice and clean. May or may not clip the corners. Looks like little tags. I may clip them myself. That's just how I like my counters. But they're very thick. You can tell, very thick, nice counters here. Very sturdy. Always appreciated. Revolution usually does really good with that anyway. So, all right, let's get this map out. And it is, unlike the majority of their games, but like Stalingrad, first game in the series, this is a mounted map, so you're getting the complete experience. You know, you're getting a high production value mounted, wrapped in the corner, so very high quality. Bring it out here, do a slight back fold. All right, laying very flat actually, coming right out of the box like that in a newer game. You never know what you're gonna get. Laying very flat, I like that. Maybe we'll put a book on here just to make it extra flat, because then I'd like to play it without having any sort of plexi on here. All right, so looking at it, where's the, let's see, We have airfield. Yep, let's say where's the airfield? There's Nichols Airfield here. Let's see, we have power plant, stadium, University of the Philippines, Grace Park Airfield up here. Okay, just kind of getting a sense of it here, right? So game is Michael Rinella, development Roger Miller, map graphics Charles Kibler, or is it Keebler? I'm gonna say Kibler. Correct me if I'm wrong, Charles, sorry. All right, and we have morale track, record track, turn track in the corner, the sequence of play, use support units, remember those artillery, aircraft, random event table, or results, I should say, available support units, out of action, and here's that attack defense value track, right? So here's where you'd put when you're adding up the attack values of all your troops sometimes, and then you have to try to remember that, will then calculate the defender. Now with the track, you don't have to do that, right? Calculate the attacker, place it wherever, boom. Calculate the defender, place it, boom, you're good to go. You don't have to sit there and try to remember 2 sets of numbers while doing math. For people like me, where math is not my number one, I love that. So again, I used to use D20s, but that took a little time to find the number. Here, you just add it up, put the counter there, you are good to go. Everything otherwise, it looks clean, clearly. It is the map of the areas of the city that were fought over, right? So it's not the entire city, but the primarily. I'll just kind of pull it up here a little bit so you guys can see. And if you're not familiar with these types of games or this particular game, this system, so it is an area movement game. You can see the areas of the very thick black lines, very easy to see. Hopefully those aren't going to be a problem with the game having those thick black lines. I don't think they will be. But in each of the areas, you have a top number. That's just the number of that area. And the bottom, that's going to be a terrain modifier, right? A defense modifier. So an area that you're attacking is going to have, some of these more urban areas, right? +4 is going to be harder to attack. Defense is going to have a greater bonus versus maybe these outlying areas. You also notice it's color coded besides the numbers. The numbers match the colors as well. So if you're colorblind, hopefully those numbers at least, +2 is always going to be the green. So if you can't see the green, you got the +2, +3, etc. And those match up with the actual Japanese units here where, right, so clear, green with green, clear is there. Or also then you would know, again, if you have trouble with colors, at least you know clear would be the +2. And then the urban is going to be the +3. And fort is going to be the +4. So Manila, the Savage Streets, 1945 from Michael Rinella and Revolution Games. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I played a lot of the other one. I played a lot of the first one, the Stalingrad game. I covered it on my channel. Really popular videos. I definitely expect the same or hope for the same. Again, this is not, the Battle of Stalingrad doesn't have the popularity and infamy of that battle, but this is something that I think we should pay attention to, something we need to learn about, and something we need to experience the history of. And thankfully, Michael Rinella and Revolution Games have provided this for us. So looking forward to covering this one. Look forward to some videos from me. I'll definitely have, playthrough, overview, teach you how to play. I'll play through either part or all of the game, and I'll definitely have a review at the end and tell you my honest thoughts on it. So thanks for watching. If you made it this far and you're not a subscriber, I'd really appreciate a subscription. Just click that subscribe button. Otherwise, if you liked the video, a thumbs up, and then comment below. Let me know. Have you got the game yet? You got it on order? You going to play it? You excited? Let me know. So until next time, everybody, later.